Hello, this is Dr. Young, and I am going to go over your week 11 assignment as soon as I can get to the page. There we go. So for your discussion, this is really more of an easy, you don't have to go to a site or anything for this one. For this one, you just need to reflect on what you've learned. This is a review week. You're going to be looking over your previous chapters. You're going to, and you can see here in your learning, or your week 11 paragraph, it talks about all the chapters you've already went to. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. My computer's slow today. There it is. You're going to review all the chapters and topics here from 1 to 19. You're also going to talk about how that accounting information that we discussed last week is used to make decisions. For example, cost, inventory, staffing, how much do you spend on benefits, all those things are, things to consider when you know what your budget is, your costs, when you're managing your cost. All that information you'll find out in your accounting as far as what you profited and what your costs are. So if you want to lower those and increase your profit, you have to think about all those different areas and how do you apply that information to those decisions. Let's see, so I want you to read over the outcomes and learning objectives, and this is all in your announcement as well. But you can see how important the accounting is, because when you have to go and decide what resources you need to run your business effectively. So hopefully that all ties into this, because before we've talked about the different decisions, recruiting and staffing and marketing and all that. We've already talked about that, but now at the end of the course you talk about accounting, and it kind of is it's cyclical as far as, okay, you're starting a business. You need to generate demand for your product. Let's say you have a product, you're going to market that business, you have to spend money to do that, and then you're constantly checking and analyzing. I'm just giving you one little facet of business right now, of course, but you're constantly checking your marketing budget and your effectiveness. Is it bringing in more money? Do you need to spend more to bring in more, to generate more demand and desire for your product? Do you need to spend less? Are you spending too much of your money on marketing? You're always constantly checking that. It's like, a cycle. And that it goes for every single part of a business too. Do you have enough people? You start a small business, you have one person. Oh, demand for your product is really starting to increase. You need more, you need more, you need more. And then maybe it waxes and wanes where the market starts to kind of level out and your product isn't, generating as much profit. So then you might have to lay off people. So you're always checking and balancing that. That's just one example. But anyway, those are things to think through. Each part of the business, how it works with that, and that's kind of what we'll be talking about this week. Let's see. What else do we got? I'm going to go to your discussion, and that's just really, in your discussion, you're just going to talk about, which concept have you learned that you could actually use in your everyday life. It might be your job, or it might be some other, maybe you have a small business, or, some kind of side. Like for me, it's cakes. I sell cakes sometimes. What kind of concepts can you apply in your everyday life? It might be at your job, which is probably the most appropriate thing since this is a business class, but, if you're not working, you might be able to, consider, like I said, if you have some kind of side business going on, or, we did talk about ethics in this class too, so Those are things to consider as well. As a customer, you might be able to talk about a concept from the customer point of view. And we're all customers, right? So that shouldn't be too hard, but I would prefer that you use it in a business context if possible. Okay, individual work. Now for this assignment, you're going to click on, you've got a worksheet, but you're going to go to this article. I'm just going to go there too. Making ethical business decisions. This is like a case that you can think it through. How would you address this dilemma? Which is great because I think case study, role plays, case studies, whatever, what would you do scenarios are more effective for learning kind of how to, the application of knowledge. It's fine to read it in a book. Can you apply it? So, and this one is, it gives you some suggestions as well. And the thing that I draw from this, and I've already read this article, I know I'm kind of scrolling back, is this last part. If you follow this, ask what would, you know, would it, if someone did it to you, whatever the action is, you know, if someone did this to you, how would you feel? And that kind of can drive really, you know, a really good business intelligence, ethics intelligence. So I would consider that. Use one reference at least. You know, you've been doing this all term. At this point, you probably know what you need to do as far as the format. It's a template. It's the same format we've been using all term. There we go. I'm going to just pull it up. I'm going to always pull them up just so you can see. But you know, you're very familiar with this. As soon as if I can get it to come up. There we go. It kind of popped up behind my window this time. And it gives you an example answer. Just follow that like you normally do. And submit that into the Dropbox. That's all there is to it, really. So this week it's not, you know, you're used to that assignment, and the discussion is really more of a reflection. So each one of those answers will be unique to the individual. No right or wrong answer there. Just make sure that it does relate to the topics in the class. And try to stay on point and elaborate, because that's the biggest issue I see in assignments is not enough elaboration, too short, you know, really short answers. So, any questions or concerns, let me know. Email me. We are getting up on the end of the term. We have one more week after this week. At this point, I would like you to go through your grade book, make sure everything that's graded has been graded that you have informed me of. Remember, if you were going to make up a discussion within the late policy, that is something you have to email me about first. Because I'm not going to know. I'm not going to go looking at all the discussions. Basically, with the Dropbox, I'm notified when there's some new assignment posted, not with discussions. So, if you haven't told me, it's been months, you should have told me, because that was on the late policy. Otherwise, just make sure that you follow that late policy, because I will follow it very, very strictly, because it's very generous in the first place. There's a quiz at the end, and I won't talk about that this week yet, but you will only have a discussion and a quiz next week. So we're coming up on the end of this, and a lot of you have really improved your grades, you know, in a short amount of time. But I know there's some of you that could probably still submit late work according to that policy. I recommend that you do that. I will not accept any late work after the last day of school for any reason. But it is, again, you know, school's not out. The class isn't over for, you know, another week after this week. So, any questions or concerns, let me know. And let's have a great week. And let's try to finish out strong and get all that, any work that you can submit according to that policy, please get in. I really want to see a strong finish. Thanks, and have a great day.